My mic, there it is. What's going on, you guys? I should be live. I think I am live. I haven't went live in a long time. You guys, hey, this is EB Crypto, Family Cash Machine, Eric Brent. And so let me just make sure everything is working right. Give a few people some time to get in. There it is. What's going on, you guys? And obviously, I got to mute my voice on the live. There's two different things going on here. So let me get down to business. I want to talk about today some things that they never talk about with cryptocurrency. It angers me a little bit. I started this journey quite a while ago, and I didn't anticipate starting a school, the Cryptocurrency College, with another group of individuals. We were very passionate about this technology. Not just because of the money-making factor that we can make a lot of money, but it was other things and characteristics that attracted us to this. Again, I was pretty much the first person from Compton, California, on the internet, on YouTube, talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. But my initial introductory to the cryptocurrency world was not pleasant. Before we go any further, I want you guys to like and subscribe to this channel. I want you guys to follow this channel, and I want you guys to take a free class called The Phoenix. Go to thefamilycashmachine.net and take the free Phoenix course that will just introduce you. If you don't know about Bitcoin, if you don't know about crypto and how to get crypto, how to set up a MetaMask wallet, how to enable your Cash App. Many people don't know on Cash App, you can actually buy Bitcoin. And it's not under that $600 thing that Joe Biden passed, where you got to report $600. If you purchase 1,000 or two, I think the most you can do is 2,000 a day. That's the most you can do on Cash App in one day. But it's a purchase, so it's not really something you got to report like that because you're purchasing something. But anyway, long story short, I'm going to talk about today all the different things, not all, but some of the things that are not being talked about with cryptocurrency, why I chose as an entrepreneur and a businessman and a Black man, why I chose this industry as a pivotal industry, I believe, that could be responsible for a redistribution of wealth that my people most definitely need, who are locked out of so many different opportunities. So this industry, this particular technology is amazing. And again, most of the people that come into this industry, they come into this industry, crypto, Bitcoin, with this mindset of Wall Street. And I'm gonna share some things with you guys to show you different aspects of why this is a business that Black people need to be involved in. Why this is a business that can change the game for Black people. Why this is an industry that could redistribute wealth to Black people, to brown people, to Asian people. Asian people are on it. Indian people, they're on this. The Indians from India are some of the top engineers and technicians and developers in the world. They get it. I'm speaking directly to my people. Why this Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, decentralization is so important to us in this particular era, okay? So first of all, I want to say that I'm going to say this, that most of us come into this with a Wall Street mindset. I'm going to give you an example. This guy came into this industry. He called me after he lost some money in the industry. And this is why we have a school. The Family Cash Machine has a school to teach and to train our people properly so they can come into this, really knocking a home run out the park. So this one guy came to me and said, hey, I lost with that Bitcoin. I got in 2017 when it went up to, he said, I think 18,000 he bought. And I said, well, how did you lose? He said, it dropped to 7,000. And so I said, okay, well, how did you lose? He said, you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. You didn't understand. I came in at I think 17 or 18,000. And he said the market dropped to like 7,000. I said, again, how did you lose? He said, well, the market was falling and I sold. And I said, well, that's the problem right there, because nobody forced you to sell. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of these cryptocurrencies, when you buy them, you own them. This is not Wall Street. This is not something where, I traded on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I traded Deutschmarks. I traded commodities. I traded yen, Swiss francs, and then euros. And I traded coffee. And on those markets, when you purchase something, you actually don't own it. You're renting it, and you're predicting on the future of it. But if it goes up or down, they're going to give you a margin call if it goes opposite the way that you predicted. And you're going to have to cover that margin, or you're going to lose your money. This is not that. So I told him, I said, you lost because you sold when it was low. All you have to do is hold on to your Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's like 40,000. In fact, it went as high as 60,000. So again, like I said, he would have won if he understood what this was about. But he came into this for the reason of making money. Okay? He came into this to make money. And there's a lot of money in this to be made. I'm not saying that's not a good thing. There's a lot of money to be made in this industry. But this industry was not just created for money. It was not created just for that. And everybody I see that's an influencer on YouTube, everybody I see on Instagram that talks about cryptocurrency, they talk about NFTs, they talk about making money, they talk about Shiba Inu, they talk about certain coins that made a lot of people millions of dollars, and that's fine. But we need to really tell the people what this is really about, what it was created for. Now, I don't care how much money you have in the world. When the pandemic came, no one was excused because of their money. There's things that's happening in the world right now that has nothing to do with how much money you have. Okay? When the Clinton administration passed one of the largest surveillance bills in this country's history that violates a lot of your constitutional rights and bunks all your phone calls. Okay? That has nothing to do with how much money you have. When the Patriot Act was passed, which to me was the most unpatriotic thing that has ever happened in this country, and now they have the right to just go and kick in your door without a judge, without a search warrant, and hold you under the Patriot Act without even charges. It doesn't matter how much money you have when things like that affect your life, okay? I remember when, before the Patriot Act, you used to be able to walk your family all the way to the airplane, to the gate, and wave off them as they're flying off. Now, since 9/11, laws have been passed under terrorism where we can't walk past security, and it doesn't matter how much money you have in the world, it affects you. And these are some of the things that cryptocurrency was made for. In 2008, when the economy crashed, if you watch the movie called The Big Short, you'll see that was orchestrated. You'll see a few people made a lot of money on that. And they sold those CDs, quote unquote, securitized mortgages in CD packages all over the world, which was responsible for crashing the entire economy. As soon as that happened, Bitcoin came out. And let me read to you guys in 1984. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to read to you guys one of the cypherpunks, a guy named Timothy May, who was responsible for bringing together all of these cryptographers before the internet was even available to the public. We talk about at 1984. And these developers, these cryptographers, these coders, these programmers were developing the internet. And the internet ended up getting used for something that it wasn't created for because of our mindsets and how we think centralized. But let me go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I want you guys to, I want to read this letter that was written in 1984. It's called the Crypto Anarchist Manifesto. the Crypto Anarchist Manifesto. When you take the Family Cash Machine cryptocurrency class, I believe we're the only class on the planet Earth that starts off with this. We also are going to add the white paper so you guys can understand the white paper. I'll break down the white paper. We also teach you how to buy Bitcoin, how to sell Bitcoin. But we give you the premises of what this is about first, and then we start teaching you about money, because a lot of us don't understand how money and value is created. And this is the big trick in the world, okay? Now, let me read this to you. Timothy C. May, who I believe they killed this individual. I just don't believe he died natural causes. He was one of the creators of the cypherpunk movement, which is Julian Assange is a member of that, and it's no coincidence he's in jail. It's no coincidence that the government of Ecuador received $4 billion a month before they went into the Ecuadorian embassy and arrested him, violating international law. Coincidentally, they received $4 billion. And if you know anything about Julian Assange, who was a part of the cypherpunks mailing list, this guy here, Timothy May, called together the cypherpunks, which out of that group, Satoshi Nakamoto and other individuals, Hal Finney, created what you got called Bitcoin. But this letter is 1984. Let me read it real brief. Follow me, you guys. I need you to follow me. Okay, he says, a specter is haunting the modern world, a specter of crypto anarchy. Crypto meaning cryptography, which is encryption, okay? This is 1984. Now remember, internet didn't really get popular as well. 91, 92, 93, the internet, 94, okay? This 84. But this guy's a programmer, so he's a cryptographer. He understands where the technology is going. He says computer technology is on the verge of providing an ability for individuals and groups to communicate and interact with each other in a totally anonymous manner. Whoa, let's stop right there. They're not talking about that. You don't hear people talking about this in crypto. You hear everybody showing you charts, showing you coins, and showing you graphs. I know how to do that as well, but I want my people to understand how we can use this technology to really empower ourselves. So the internet, in fact, was created to be anonymous, where we can send information to each other one-on-one. Let me finish. Peer-to-peer. It says, two persons may exchange messages, conduct business, and negotiate electronic contracts without ever knowing the true name or legal identity of the other. It's 1984. Interactions over networks will be untraceable. Extensive rerouting of encrypted packets and tamper-proof boxes, which implement cryptographic protocols with nearly perfect assurance against any tampering. Reputations will be central importance. Reputations will be of central importance. Far more important than dealings than ever the credit ratings of today. These developments will alter completely the nature of government regulations, the ability to tax and control economic interactions, the ability to keep information secret, and will even alter the nature of trust and reputation. Hold the hell up. Let me just elaborate on that for a minute. He's saying with this system that's being created, the internet, it was supposed to be a peer-to-peer thing. It was supposed to be a trustless system where the people in a network could see everything. Therefore, we don't need a trusted third party. Why do you need a third party? Okay, so the internet being created for something is now being used for something else, and it's centralized. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But he's telling you right here the premises and the basis. He says something about governments not being able to regulate it. Wow. That's what crypto is now. He says something about the ability to tax and not the ability to tax and control economic interactions. And in other words, they can't stop us from doing business with each other. They can't disrupt or control the business interactions. That would be a beautiful world if that was the case with the internet. This was supposed to happen with the internet. This is what the programmers saw. Okay? This is what they saw. Okay? But again, by the people having such a centralized mindset, we allowed governments and banks and regulators to come into the internet and centralize it. And I'm going to show you how. And I'm going to show you the difference in decentralization, which would be more to the benefit of the people. Then he says, the technology for this revolution. Oh, I didn't say that. Timothy C. May said that. The technology for this revolution, and it surely will be both a social and economic revolution. And you still wondering why I chose this for our people? For my people, I thought that this was the best revenue and the best avenue for our people. Okay, let me go get through this quick. It has existed in theory for the past decade. The methods are based upon public key encryption, zero-knowledge interactive proof systems, and various software protocols for interactions and authentication and verification. Wow, that's exactly what crypto is today. They figured out a way to do it without government being involved. The focus has until now been on academic conferences in Europe and the US. Conferences monitored closely by the National Security Agency, because they don't want people to have privacy. They don't want people to be able to deal peer-to-peer. They don't want people to be able to do transactions without government involved. They don't want people to be able to freely be able to send value to one another without government involved in the middle of that, okay? But only recently have the computer networks and personal computers attained sufficient speed to make the ideas practically realizable. And the next 10 years will bring enough additional speed to make the ideas economically feasible and essentially unstoppable. This was in 1984 now, okay? Remember, this is in 84. High-speed networks, ISDN, tamper-proof boxes, smart cards, satellite, Q-band, transmitters, multi-MIPSs, personal computers. This is all computer language. I'm not a technician, but I'm just reading what this letter says. And encryption chips now under development will be soon some of the enabling technologies. The state will, of course, try to slow or halt the speed of this technology down, citing national security concerns. Hold up. They did that with the internet. At first, they tried to say the internet was for pornographers and money launderers and it was for gambling, illegal gambling. They tried their best at first to do that to the internet. A lot of us forgot. In the beginning of the internet, they did that. They had a lot of, negative things to say. Use of drug dealers, tax evaders, fears of societal disintegration. Anything that's for the people's benefit, governments are not going to want. Because no government on this planet is for the people. If you think that the government is for the people, you are grossly misjudging what's going on in the world. There's no government on the planet that's for the people. None. They all are corrupt and for themselves, okay? This technology has the ability to free the people, okay? Many of these concerns will be valid. Crypto anarchy will allow national secrets to be traded freely and will allow illicit and stolen materials to be traded. An anonymous computerized market will even make possible adherent markets for assassinations and extortion. Various criminal and foreign elements will be active users of CryptoNet. He was calling something CryptoNet, but this will not halt the speed of crypto anarchy. In other words, we can't stop people from using technology for negative. People are going to use technology for negative things. You can't stop that. But it's far greater good that can come from this technology than evil. And also, if you read what he was saying about, he was talking about cryptography. That's what Julian Assange is. He's a cryptographer. And he was able to hack a lot of the government websites and tell the people different secrets that government was doing. And that's what he's in trouble about. He's in trouble for telling the truth. He's in trouble for exposing some of their wicked plans. That's what he's in trouble for. He's in trouble for journalism, for real journalism, for exposing some of the negative truths. And every newspaper on the planet has used WikiLeaks information. Every newspaper on the planet at some point has used WikiLeaks information. Every president, every prime minister have used WikiLeaks information. Every news network have used something from WikiLeaks over the years. So I don't know why he's in trouble. And if that's the case, all the newscasters should be in trouble as well. But again, he exposed things to the people. He's really the people's hero because he exposed a lot of secret, negative, wicked things that governments were involved in that was contradictory to what was good for the people. So for that, we got to get him. That's what he's in jail for. Okay. Now, lastly, just as the technology of printing altered and reduced the power of medieval golds and the social power structure, so too will cryptologic methods fundamentally alter the nature of corporations. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. And of governments, interference in economic transactions, combined with emerging information markets. And we need that today because when this world is owned by six corporations, this world not owned by six corporations. The media is owned by six corporations. All media networks, all radio networks, all TV networks, all channels are owned by six companies. And this is why I said it's going to disrupt that. It's going to disrupt emerging information, where now information can be decentralized. And when I want to say it again, the pandemic started, Facebook, Instagram, that's owned by Facebook, YouTube, that's owned by Google. These companies were told to not allow any information out contradicting what they wanted to tell the people. That's censorship. That's like communism. When you telling the people one story and not allowing them to get any other information, not allowing them to cross-reference any information, that's considered socialism or communism, okay? It's the control of your opinion. They're controlling your opinion by only giving you one source of information. And what if they're lying? You have no way of cross-referencing that. That's very dangerous, okay? So this has an ability to disrupt that, okay? Crypto anarchy will create a liquid market for any and all material which can be put into the world, words and pictures, NFTs. And just as seemingly minor invention like barbed wires made possible the fencing off of vast ranches and farms, thus altering forever the concepts of land and property rights in a forfeiture west, so too will the seemingly minor discovery out of an arcane branch of mathematics come to be wire clippers which dismantle the barbed wires around your intelligent property. In other words, he's saying you caged in. He's saying you're controlled, you're psychologically enslaved, you're socially enslaved, you're enslaved in a way where your government is feeding you information and not allowing you to get any other information but what they tell you on the media, which mostly is a lie. Okay, and he's saying that this technology is like scissors or clippers that can cut and dismantle the barbed wires. Okay, and he ends it by saying, arise, you have nothing to lose but the barbed wire fence. Oh my God, that's a powerful, powerful, powerful letter there. And I'm going to say this. This is why I'm doing this. I'm in this not just to make the money. I'm in this because I see we're in a world where everything's controlled, everything's centralized, okay? You got to go through a certain source to be a movie producer, a certain source to be in a record label. It's a centralized source. It's not for the people. It's controlled by a small group of people. This is the problem in the world. So when cryptocurrency was created, it made things decentralized. Let me share a decentralized chart for you right now, and you'll see what I mean by that. And I'm going to elaborate on decentralization for a minute and centralization. Okay, here is decentralization right here. Let me go here. Okay, now you see that. You see the decentralization. Let me blow this up. 1 second. Give me a minute. Let me make this slide come real. Let me make this slide come real. Okay, there we go. That looks a lot better. Now you see that right there. Okay, cool. This is decentralization at its finest, okay? This is a decentralized system. Now with this system right here, this is how crypto was created. This is why I'm so excited about this for my people. Because for so many years, everything we own have been confiscated. Everything we've done positive have been confiscated or disrupted or controlled. With a system like this, there is no center point. When I do a Bitcoin transaction, I'm on the blockchain. See all those blue dots? That's the Bitcoin blockchain. Every coin has its own blockchain, unless it's an ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain. That means it's on Ethereum, but you have your own coins that you created on that blockchain. Each one of those blue dots is a master node or a miner. There's no point of beginning and no point of ending. Anybody can own a master node. Anybody can own or be a miner. All you need is the equipment, then you become a blue dot. There's no beginning, no ending. So therefore, there's no point of attack where you can hack that. But every one of those blue points could validate and verify the transactions. Okay? Every one of those blue points could see all the transactions. You see those numbers? Those are transactions. We don't know who they are. We don't know who these people are. We don't care who they are. As long as you get your Bitcoins from point A to point B, what do you care? Who the person is. This provides privacy. And guess what? Once you hit go on a transaction, no one can stop it. This provides no censorship, no permission. This is what my people need. My people need a system that no one could use race or color to stop their transactions, to stop their progress, to stop their rise, to stop their elevation, to stop their destiny. This is what we need. This is why I'm so excited about this, because I can now create and distribute my business with nobody being able to disrupt me. Okay? Now, let me show you something else. Let me show you this next system. We're going to go here. Now, this is a centralized system. This is what we've been under all our life. From banking to logistics to the travel to airplanes, everything is centralized in this country. Everything in the world is centralized. There's a center point of control. And that center point makes the rules and regulates, mostly not to the people's benefit and definitely not to my people's benefit. In fact, always to the detriment of the rise of my people. Okay? The bad thing about this system here is you got to go through these people here who might be racist, who might be sexist, who might be religiously biased. Who knows what this little small group here, this center point, who knows what kind of philosophy is in their mind? For the most part, it's been a lot of racism, white supremacy. It's been a lot of that. That's why the world is the way it is now. This now has an opportunity and chance to be disrupted. Okay. Also, we're dealing with monopolies here. Okay. We're dealing with monopolies. We're dealing with the Facebooks. We're dealing with the, Instagrams. We're dealing with the Microsofts. We're dealing with these monopolies. We're dealing with the central banks. They control everything. Okay. Now, let me go back to this other system of decentralization. Imagine Facebook. Okay, Facebook is this right here, centralized. And Instagram got swallowed up by Facebook. This is Google. Google swallowed up YouTube. Anything that competes with them, they swallow it up in the monopoly. Okay, the #1 search engine in the world is Google. Guess what's #2? YouTube. Guess who owns YouTube? Google. This is centralization at its finest. Then the most dangerous part about this is not just the structure and systems, it's our mindsets. Our mindsets think centralized. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in a minute. So this is one of the worst things in the world right now is centralization. They're not talking about this. They're not talking about this. Okay? They're talking about how much money in crypto. They're not showing you what this was made for. To disrupt the powers to be, to disrupt centralization, and to redistribute money, power to the people. That's what this is about. This is about that. And so nobody's talking about this. But guess what? Eric Brent from Compton, I'm talking about it. Eric Brent from Compton, I'm teaching this. I'm not just teaching this, I'm teaching money. I'm teaching how money is created, how money gets its value, how it loses value. I'm teaching how Bitcoin and crypto and Ethereum and all these other coins can be used, Tron could be used as capital. Hex, Pulse, PulseX, these coins can be used as capital. And nobody can stop it. Now let's look at this system again. Now imagine this system is Facebook. No, this is not Facebook. This is Facebook. That's Facebook, centralized. Everything goes through Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg don't like your video, he can stop your video. He don't like what you're saying, he can shut you down. He can put you in Facebook jail. He can cancel your account. This is centralization. Okay? This is centralization. This is freedom. I'm going to compete with Facebook, not me. I'm just going to give you guys a concept. Let's say that I created a Facebook and I don't have a server. I don't have a server, okay? Say I don't have a server. Let's go back to that system. I need you guys to see this. I don't have a server. Okay, 1 second. Let me make this work. There you go. This is a server. So let's say I don't have a server and I create my own Facebook, but it's decentralized. There's no center point. I put it on the network. I put it on the blockchain. And every time one of these individuals comment, they get paid. Every time you post a picture, you get paid. Because there's no center point for the money to go to. So guess what? The money goes to the people. There's no corporation. There's no headquarters for the money to go to. So the money go to the people that's involved in this system, the people that creates this system, the people who create the value, the people who participate. How is it that Facebook is created one of the richest men in the world, but none of us get paid? Only this center point get paid. All the time you put pictures, all the time you comment, all the times you buy something on there, none of that money goes to you because it's a centralized system. It goes to the center. But in a system like this, there is no center. There is no headquarters. How do they stop a system with no headquarters that the people run? As long as there's electricity and internet, this will run. They can't stop it. There's no one person here that runs this. This is run by a network. This is decentralization. We can disrupt Facebook. We can create a face note and have it decentralized. So everything you post, you getting paid on. Everything you comment, you getting paid on. Facebook gets all the money, and not only do they get all the money, they take all of your information and they sell your information. They sell your data, what you like to read, what movies you watch. They sell all of that stuff. They sell everything. You get nothing when they sell your information. Nothing. That's centralization. That's monopoly at its finest. This is what we've been under our whole lives. And that's why they're so afraid of this. This empowers the people. This is what I want my people to get involved in, because we are the lowest of the lowest on the lowest of the lowest of the bottom of the totem pole. We've been here over 400 years in this country, and we are last citizen. We're not even second class citizens. We like 16th class citizens, because some people that come over here within the next 4 or 5 years, they get treated better than we do. So with a system like this, we're not asking for permission. We're not being censored. We're programming this to be borderless, where these numbers, you don't see no state here. You don't see no name. You don't see nobody's address. This is mathematics. at its highest level. It can't be disrupted. This is what Timothy May was talking about. This is anarchy, not meaning like revolution, like shooting. You don't got to shoot one bullet with this. All you got to do is stop using their systems and create our own systems, our own Facebook. Let's imagine Uber. Okay, everybody think Uber is great, it's cool, it is. It's semi, what I want to say, it's not really decentralized. It ain't even semi-decentralized. It's pretty much a shared partnership because they got this app right here in the middle. Okay, it's an app, and all the drivers that connect to that app, you know, they get to contract themselves, but they still got to pay that center. Okay, let me use an example. Let's do our own Uber on the blockchain. Let's do Goober. Let's not create an app. Let's create a DApp, a decentralized app that has its own blockchain. And I'm gonna show you the difference on how these will work. Okay, this is Uber. They send out, you know, all the drivers have the app. They can contact, you know, be contacted through that center app. And let's say it's $100 trip. Okay, well, on that $100 trip, the driver might get $25. $75 goes to Uber. This is about close to accurate right now, too. On a $100 trip, he might get $30. And Uber gets $70 because this centralized application that subcontracts these guys gets the bulk of the money. Okay, that's how it works. Now, let's say we got Goober. We create Goober, a decentralized system that's just a DApp where the information is floating through these blue dots, and any one of these little numbers could grab the information and go and meet the driver directly without a middleman, without a trusted third party. Guess what's going to happen? On a $100 trip, the driver can drop his price and say, you know what? I'm charging $60. That's cheaper than Uber. The person that's getting the ride, he's paying $60 instead of $100. The driver's making more money. He's getting $60. The passenger is saving more money. Everybody's happy because we don't have that middleman no more. Wow. That will blow Uber out the doors. A decentralized DApp, and I'm giving you guys ideas how this technology could be used. It could disrupt Uber. Uber disrupted the taxi cab industry because it's an app. But a DApp could disrupt the app. Wow. And this is the part that people are not talking about. Now, all these little bitty numbers who are other little individual drivers who now are charging their own charges, saving the customer more money. The customer is happy. The driver is happy because he's making more money. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? This can be applied to any industry in the world where wealth could be redistributed from these major corporations to the people. This is why I'm so excited. Yes, we can make money, but we can disrupt. This is a huge revolution that can go down right now with technology, but we have to think more decentralized. And this is what my classes are about. I don't just teach you how to make money. I teach you how to stay anonymous, and I teach you how to decentralize and disrupt other different ideas of centralized businesses to make yourself a bunch of money and to help a lot of more people. That's what's so exciting about this. And nobody's talking about that. But Eric Britt talking about it, EB Crypto from Compton, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to make sure you understand the power of what this is about. The power of what this is about. Now, Snoop Dogg, commend Snoop Dogg. He's starting to do NFTs and he's starting to do his music on the blockchain. Artists have already went independent. But now with this blockchain, you become your own distributor. Wow. You're your own distributor on the blockchain now. You can get paid every time your song is being played and nobody can stop that. And the fee can be so low, minuscule, people won't mind plugging into these systems. But if I paid a penny every time I listen to the Isley Brothers would be, whoa, you know, it'd be so much money flowing to them. It wouldn't even be funny. But This is the blockchain. This is what this was created for. It was created to give you more privacy because governments now are really turning it up on the people. COVID, I don't want to say that word, but the pandemic should have showed you guys you don't have as many rights as you think you do. And at any time, they can come up with some lame brain stuff to shut you down. And so with blockchain technology, that's what was created, that system I showed you. And this is why we don't need banks. We got this system right here. We don't need banks. We can send value wherever we want in the world and nobody can stop it. We can send value anywhere we want. We go back to it again and nobody can stop it. But guess what? You won't know where it's coming from. Like say, for instance, if I got your wallet number, you're a number and I got your wallet number and I send you some money, some Bitcoin or some Ethereum or whatever. If I owe you $100 and I send you $100 in of Ethereum, you can change that into cash really fast, or you can use the Ethereum to buy something because there are several agencies now that accept cryptocurrency. But what's the beauty in that? The beauty in that is recently Joe Biden passed a law where anything over $600 has to be reported to the taxes. So guess what? You're under the radar. I'm not saying obey taxes. I'm saying some things are nobody's business but yours. It's your money. How does someone feel like that you owe them every little penny you get? This is the problem in the world, centralization. They're using their central currency. So they know everything you're doing because in 1939, they created Social Security numbers. And the Social Security number main purpose was to track your income. So when you do any transaction at a bank, they want your ID, which is connected to your social, and that's how they track your income. This is how they track your income. Oh my God, I got my screen is showing. So that's how they track your income. Okay, they track your income like that. Okay, let me get my green screen back. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, so they track your income like that. This is why I don't like to go live because things like that happen. This is technology. You have little glitches, but we're gonna keep the show going. You guys are seeing downtown Santo Domingo behind me. As you guys know, I'm from Compton, California. I live in Santo Domingo for now. I may not be here long. I want to go to Colombia, Brazil, Panama. I'm moving around and I'm making sure my people throughout the diaspora know about how to use this, not just to make money, but also to disrupt, okay? This is a major disruption and it's gonna help you in the course of more regulations, more restrictions, and more limitations on your money. You wanna know how to maneuver without so much regulation and restrictions, okay? And blockchain technology is the way to do that. Now, I'm a little hot here because I am in Santo Domingo. It's very humid here. I'm still getting used to the humidity, but I continue to want to teach my people the real value of cryptocurrency is not just make the money, but it's also freedom and disruption. Because guess what? Not only can they not stop your transaction, they don't even know your transaction. I can send $100,000 to somebody right now and nobody would even know, but you and me. There's no name on it. There's no Social Security. But as long as you got that revenue, that value, and you can use it for what you want to do, that's the whole thing. Who cares? And so a lot of people just don't get it. They come into this industry with a centralized mindset and they end up telling on themselves because they don't realize what this was created for and how it can be used to free you. I'm gonna give you an example. There's a guy that was selling Bitcoins. He was using his bank account and he used a built-in escrow company called Local Bitcoins. And he received over $3 million in that account. Now, what's the problem with that? He's not thinking decentralized, even though he's not doing anything, I don't think, illegal. He's selling Bitcoins. He didn't make 3 million profit. He did over 3 million in transactions. He might have made $1 million in profit. But my point is, he had people deposited in his account and he released the Bitcoin to you. So immediately when you buy some Bitcoin from him, the computer software grabbed that Bitcoin and held it in escrow so he couldn't cheat you. And as soon as you made the deposit, it released it to your Bitcoin wallet. It went for years. But what happened was so many transactions started happening. He became, focused. They started looking at it. And then they took him to jail for actually working as an unlicensed bank. So they found the way to get him because they said he should have been a registered bank because he did over 2 million. But my point is, he was thinking too centralized. All he had to do is have 5 or 6 different accounts. If you're doing $3 million in one account, I think you're going to create some attention. But he has to be taught how to think. There's a black man named Reggie Middleton. You guys don't know about. Most of you guys don't. He had a cryptocurrency called Veritasium. When I first started, it was on the first page of CoinMarketCap. Brilliant black man who sold, listen to me, when the stock market, when the housing market crashed, he was selling contracts going against the market, and he made $8-9 million. He got a bunch of money from Lehman Brothers, a lot of those people who said, oh, real estate will never crash. Brilliant black man. So he got into the cryptocurrency industry. He created Veritasium, which was supposed to be a coin that was going to have trust, was going to have municipal bonds, treasury bonds, stocks, all of that on the blockchain. And I think his coin was up for 2 or 3 years, and now they're trying to send him to jail. Why? Because he's mixing centralization and decentralization. He didn't understand. I'm not gonna say he didn't understand this technology, but you can't mix the two. You just can't. They don't go together. One is for the people, one is for controlled monopolies. Centralization is controlled monopolies. That feeds the system that oppresses and suppresses the people and only puts a few people in control. If you don't think I'm telling the truth, why is it that there's only 25 people in the world that control 50% of the wealth? That is centralization at its finest. And this is the biggest problem in the world, is the wealth is not distributed equally, and the systems of centralization, it focuses all this energy in very small points. Okay? The other thing that's bad about centralization is hacking. Hacking is one of the worst things that happens in the world right now. Hacking is a huge, huge problem. I think our website blocks about 500 hacks attempts a day. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay? All these systems are on centralized systems. Look at this system. I remember 2 years ago when Visa was hacked. Now, Visa is a server. You see that center? That's a server. MasterCard, one server. Facebook, one server. Anybody hacks that server, they got access at millions of people's information. This is a problem in the world. But when you're dealing with a decentralized system, there is no center point. There is no server. There's hundreds of millions of people in Bitcoin. They would have to hack hundreds of millions of people simultaneously at the same time, which is virtually impossible. Because what's going to happen is every time somebody connects to this system, they get the total ledger from the first transaction of Bitcoin to the last. Everybody that connects to Bitcoin that creates a wallet or any other cryptocurrency, when you create a wallet, you become part of this network. And you have access to every transaction that ever happened on this blockchain. You don't know who they are, but nevertheless, you have the entire ledger. So when every person has the entire ledger, it's hard to come into a system like that and alter the ledger when everybody got access to the ledger. This is a better system for security-wise, and it's a better system for wealth-wise to redistribute wealth from all these major monopoly corporations. Wow. And spread the wealth to the people. That's what I'm excited about. And not only spreading the wealth, but for instance, like I said, when that pandemic started and those 6 corporations that own the media put out the orders to the quote unquote free YouTube and the free Facebook to not allow certain facts to be told to the people, that showed me how much we need a system like this. If we had a YouTube that was decentralized, nobody could stop any content. When somebody says to me, Eric, that's not good if nobody could stop content and anybody can say anything because people can make up lies. That's good to me. Because if I make up a lie and put it on YouTube and there are experts in that area to cross-reference me, the lie is not going to last when you put it out in the public, because there's people who are experts in that industry or people who have data and information. Whatever you put out in an open market, you better know what you're talking about, because there's people there that can shoot you down. So I challenge, I say, hey, let it be open, because the lies are going to be exposed. The people are going to see the truth, because the truth can stand on its own. The truth can be verified and validated and clarified. There's no way you can just throw out there anything you want on the network without somebody challenging it if it's not right. So why the censorship? Why did they block certain information during that period? Why they didn't let certain doctors speak? Why they didn't let certain scientists speak? Why they didn't let certain biologists speak? These people are trained biologists. These people are trained, what was it called? Immunologists, people who were doctors in an immune system. They blocked them from talking during that period. That's dangerous. So these are the reasons that I like decentralized systems, because you can't stop information from coming. Anybody can say anything. But again, you better know what you're talking about, because if you're just putting garbage out there, it's going to be challenged, and it's going to be debated, and it's going to be refuted, and it's going to be rejected. So that's the beauty of free information, of open information. Cryptocurrency represents openness. It represents freedom of the people. It represents non-censorship. It represents decentralizing and redistributing wealth and allowing anybody from any walk of life to create a platform that can't be stopped, can't be controlled, can't be manipulated. Because when Facebook got so big, the government wanted their back door to it. The government wanted access to it. The government wanted to survey people. This is what's happening in the world. This is the problem. And this is the stuff that crypto could stop. And like, I'm going to close on this. Like Charles May said, what do you have to lose but the chains, but the chain fence? We have to learn this technology. We have to learn this, because not only can you make a bunch of money, but right now they got a phone on the blockchain. They got a blockchain phone that can't be tapped, can't be wired. It's decentralized. Each phone is one of those blue dots that I showed you, is a node on that network that can't be surveyed. Now, how important is that phone? How great is that phone when all the phones are being surveyed? So this is a whole new different world right now. We have an opportunity to get away from this monitoring, from this control, and to make a lot of money at the same time, and to help free our people from all of the suppression and oppression that has been happening to our people. One of the other things I like about crypto, other than gold or real estate, is you see what happened in Black Wall Street. I'm not trying to repeat Black Wall Street. I see a lot of people talking about Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was a disaster. Black Wall Street was a massacre. I'm not trying to relive Black Wall Street. I commemorate my ancestors. I commemorate those that are still living from the Black Wall Street. But that was a disaster. That was a massacre. We're not trying to relive no Black Wall Street. We on another level now. We going to generational wealth. We're trying to figure out how to create generational wealth. And Black Wall Street is a perfect example of what we don't want. Them to kill us and come in and take our property. Take your wife's fur coat. Take your car. Take your piano. That's what happened in Black Wall Street. In fact, there's over 100 different stories in history like Black Wall Street that we're not even talking about. It's been swept under the rug as racial riots all throughout the early 1900s. After the Reconstruction period, Black folks under the Jim Crow was segregated. And when we segregated, it forced us to deal with each other. We couldn't go to a white doctor, so we had to create a Black doctor. We had to create a Black dentist. We had to create a Black laundromat. We had to create a Black cafe. We had to create a Black hotel. We could not engaged with white people. So it, by default, created Black wealth. But it didn't really create Black wealth. It created Black middle class. Let's get that right. There were some Black people that had some money, but it didn't create a lot of millionaires. It created an upper middle class. And today, this just doesn't work for our children. Our children want Bugattis. Our children want Lamborghinis. Our children want Rolls Royce. They want Wraith. They want the high quality. So we got to think on a higher level of generational wealth. And we can create that now in this industry, because this industry is likened to the internet in 1994 when it started. Could you imagine if you would have put $200 in Google when it first started, and $200 in Yahoo, and $200 in Microsoft, and $200 in IBM, and $200 in Apple? Could you imagine where you'd be right now? $200 in Facebook, $200 in Instagram when they first started. This is the opportunity you have now in this industry. This is the internet of money. Money has created its own internet called cryptocurrency. That's what's happening. This is why I'm so excited. I understood this when I saw this. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be huge. And again, I was the first Black man from Compton talking about cryptocurrency. Check my record. Look at my YouTube videos. Go back as far as 2016. Was no Black man in Compton talk about no crypto. I was the first. A lot of latecomers is coming now. I'm glad they come to the party. I'm not a jealous Black man. I want us to spread this. Everybody's not going to listen to Eric Brent. We need to listen to other people. But I'm just saying, I've seen this a while ago. And I want us to understand this is not just about buy and sell, buy and sell. It has an aspect of that. There's people that trade every day. There's people that buy master nodes. There's people who create their own coin. There's people who stake every day. There's people who mine every day. It's so many different aspects to this. It's not even funny. There's so many ways to make money with this. It's not just one way. But the main purpose of this was to free you up, because now you can't even send $600 without being reported. Wow. $600 is nothing. If you're a businessman, $600 is nothing. You can't do anything. You can't do anything now without being monitored or censored or regulated. And it's never to your benefit. This is what crypto was created for, to give the power back to the people and take away power from governments. The people are supposed to check governments. Governments are not supposed to be checking the people. The people are supposed to be checking the government. The government is supposed to be working for you, but that's not the meaning of government. Gouverne, is a German word which means control. And Mint is also a German word that means mind. So government means to control the mind. Look it up. This is the etymology of these words. Control the mind, or mind control, okay? So how is that to the benefit of the people? Now, I heard the other day, one of the congresswomen's, what's her name? The Puerto Rican girl, I forget her name, out of New York. She said that capitalism don't exist in America because capitalism means for the wealthy. And I've been saying this for years. How can you have democracy and capitalism? Democracy means something that's ruled by the people. And actually, that's not really what it means. Democracy is a system that's supposed to be the people rule, but in actuality, in Greek, demos means demons. Kratik means rule. So democracy means demons rule. Actually, that's really what the word actually means. Capitalism is a system that wealthy people or the money runs that system. And that system of capitalism is run by money. Well, guess what? Most of my people don't got money. The wealthy and the middle class is widening. In fact, the middle class is disintegrating and is becoming rich and poor. There's a huge disparity right now. This is the truth. So that means that the minority create regulations, legislations. They have the power. This is why Bill Gates, I got to speak on him, one of the richest men in the world, is now in control of several countries' CDC or their world or the World Health Organizations. and he controls policy, which to me is not a good thing because he's a known eugenicist. He's a eugenicist, meaning he's for population control. His father was for population control. This ain't no secret. Bill Gates' father was a huge friend of the Rockefellers, and they were eugenicists. So you got a eugenicist, somebody for world population control, one of the richest guys in the world, and now can control and influence policy when it comes to vaccinations. You see what's happening? It's too much power and money to such a small group. That's centralization. So this particular technology can break that up. And they're scared of it, but they can't regulate it. So they got to put disinformation out to make you afraid of it. Oh, you can lose your money in Bitcoin. I just told you how the guy lost his money. He sold when his money, when the coin was down. Now, what person you know sell a house when the house there's no equity in the house? And if you do that, then that means you're settling for a loss. But if you hang on to your home until the property value comes back up, that's what crypto is. When you buy crypto, you own it. There's no person or entity or financial institution or broker that pressures you to sell it. You sell it because you're watching the price and you're like, oh my God, I need to sell this and get some money back. No, you don't. Just wait. Bitcoin just came out of another crash. And every time Bitcoin crashed, I watch people run around. Oh my God, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. I've watched this over 100 times since I've been in this industry. And every single time, Bitcoin come back. Every single time they say Bitcoin finna crash, it come back. Every time. But what happens when it crashes? All the little guys sell, and Chicago Board of Exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, Chase, these big companies come in and buy up billions of it. There's companies now buying billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Again, they trying to centralize it. Like the internet was made to be decentralized, and we allowed the corporations and banks to come in and centralize it, governments, because they wanted to use it too, but they also manipulated our minds that were already thinking centralized to use the internet centralized. So now when you get on the internet, they got your IP address. They track your IP address. They know who you are through your IP address. And if you do any transaction, they want your name, your picture, your driver's license. It's centralized. It's no more anonymity on the internet. That's gone. But through decentralized networks, blockchain technology, it doesn't require that. We can get back to a system where we can freely maneuver. We can freely access certain money, and we can create businesses and corporations on the blockchain, which is called a decentralized autonomous organization. That's the highest level of the cryptocurrency college. We teach that. How to operate a whole corporation with smart contracts. Everybody getting paid on time. There is no accountant, there's no lawyers, there's no regulations, and everything is working like clockwork through technology. That's the highest level of the game. Decentralized autonomous organizations. You can have a whole corporation running like that, where everybody getting paid on time. All the investors are getting their percentages like clockwork from smart contracts that are programmed to execute themselves. And you don't need no regulations, no bookkeepers, no lawyers, none of that. So we have to learn this. This is why I teach this, because I realize the power of it is bigger than just making money. The power of it is the power to disrupt systems that have kept the people down and monopolizing us, controlling us against our own good and welfare. So that's what I like about cryptocurrency. That's what I see. I see a very revolutionary, disruptive thing that could, in the right hands, create benefits in the world, disrupt these major corporations that are hindering us, blocking information, Facebook, YouTube blocking information. That's not good for the people at all. That's good for the government, but that's not good for the people to hear different biologists, immunologists, doctors. They wanted to make you afraid. They want everybody to be scared to death. And they have reason to do that. It's a whole agenda. And this is what's going on. We have to understand this world is colliding right now. There's a collide, there's a collision. And the wicked is turning it up. And they want to put them mental handcuffs on you. They want to put you in slavery mentally and financially when you can't do nothing. If they come out with a centralized cryptocurrency, oh my God, they're going to have a digital coin. They're working on it now. They're going to know everything about you. They're going to have an ID card with your health records, your financial records, your criminal, everything in one database. That's centralization at the highest level. So you got to come into this and learn this, make a lot of money. I'm not, believe me, I'm about getting some money, but I'm also about the information, and I'm also about freedom, and I'm also about helping my people to rise as a people, as a great people that they are. They don't know who they are. And as they start rising into power, then we'll see where we're at as far as generational wealth. But at the same time, that'll never happen if you're in a centralized system. They can control where you go, who make it, who don't make it. Oh, if you're not in our fraternity, if you're not over here for this order, if you're not sworn in with us and an allegiance with us, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to need to get deep into that. If you're not into their thing, you're not going to make it through that. And most of them, our people that's very super successful, is in that thing. They in those levels where their allegiance is not with their people. Okay? So this is what is so powerful about decentralization. We can just disrupt all of these major corporations. We can create our own decentralized corporations where the people get rich. That $300 billion or $1 trillion that Facebook made, imagine that being spread out to everybody that was on Facebook. The people that's on Facebook the longest got the most money. That's a decentralized system where the people get paid, not no one corporation, one company, one or two or three CEOs. No, decentralized means the people who create the value share in the value. That sounds fair to me, but that's not what we have today. And that's what Timothy May was talking about in the beginning. I didn't want to go this long, but I had to give it to you guys. That's what's going on in the world. I hope you guys got something out of this. Like and subscribe to my channel. This is the Family Cash Machine. Follow the money. This is EB Crypto, Eric Brent, and I'm going to go ahead and log out, and you guys join our classes. We got the Cryptocurrency College. Go to thefamilycashmachine.net. Get the free class. It's free. Because I'm going to tell you something. I talk to people every day that come to me and say, hey, EB, I got into the crypto, and I lost some money. What do I need to do? Hey, man, ain't nothing you can do. You lost. This is some of the smartest people in the world in this industry. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. Everybody that's smart, not good. So this is the smartest people in the world in this industry. They know all kinds of ways to trick you. So you can do this. You can either come in our classes and pay $350, $750, $1,500 to get the game, or you can go out there yourself and learn yourself. But guess what? You're going to pay. You're going to lose money. You're going to take losses. You're going to take some losses to learn. There's no free way. So why not just pay for a class? Because you might spend $350 for a class, and it might save you $3,000 that you lost on some stuff you thought was real that wasn't real. There's so many scams in this. It's not even funny. I lost $3,500 when I first came into this, but that taught me where to go. It's like once I lost that money, I got into a group that really was teaching the right stuff. But again, I paid $3,500. And guess what? I didn't take losses since then, and I'm still learning. But a lot of the losses that I took, a lot of the money I lost, I created the courses with a lot of other people so you guys don't lose. There's so many people in the Family Cash Machine that lost other ways than I did. There's like 400 or 500 people that lost in different ways than I did. And out of all of our experiences, we put together courses so you won't make the mistakes we made. You're going to pay one way or the other. You're going to pay for classes, or you're going to pay by mistakes, losing. And the mistakes being paid could be way exceeding what you're going to pay for a class. But if you pay for a class, you might start making money right away, because we have ways that you can make passive income with us every single day. I'm finding so many ways that passive income can be created with a little bit of money, $100, $200, $300. You can be putting money in things while you're in class. We're going to show you ways to make passive income. That's what we do, because we want you to win. So with that, I'm going to sign out again. This is the Family Capture Machine. Like and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.